I am staying awake for the boxing. There's a big fight that I want to watch about 5 a.m. UK time, and I was starting to fall asleep. I don't want to miss it. So I thought, what better way to stay awake and alert than to have a live stream? But I've never done one at this time in the morning, so who knows if anyone will join or not. Well, there you go. Someone knows because someone has. Who are you, friend? Who has joined the chat? I've been thinking about doing one this time of day for a while now because hopefully it will be more convenient for our American brothers, because the ones I do, the regular ones at 7 p.m. Filipino time, are much use if you're in America because it's the middle of the night. Now we've got two. There you go. Mother, I've made it. Who are you two people? Michael B, raining in New Jersey. Well, Michael B, we have something in common because it's raining in Dumagetti too. How are you, brother? Welcome to the chat. Raining quite heavily here earlier on. How heavy is the rain in New Jersey? I've never been to New Jersey, but I'm a Sopranos fan, so I feel like I have. Who else is there? Five now and 2 thumbs up. Mike Thompson is here. How you doing, Mike? Welcome. Glad you could join us. So we got Michael B and Mike Thompson. Have you been on a live stream before, Michael? Shaney, hi, catch you again. Shaney, what are you doing up this time in the morning? You should be in bed. Welcome back. Hey, that's not bad, is it? So we got Shaney, we got Mike, we got Squander in Asia. Greetings, how's it going, bro? All going well. Oh, wait a minute. Shaney, good afternoon from Toronto. I didn't know you were in Toronto. I thought you were still in the Philippines. There you go. What are you doing there? It's going well, bro. I'm just trying to keep awake. Michael B, Salamat Po, 4 days of it. Yes, nearby the Sopranos area of Newark, New Jersey. Good. Shaney76, let's go Blue Jays. I don't know what Blue Jays are. Obviously, they're a sporting team, but I don't know what team they are. Are they ice hockey? I imagine they're ice hockey. So what I'm going to do, just give me 1 second. I'm going to go to my laptop because it's better, it's easier to read the chat off there. I was now here for work. Work? Really? What are you doing? What are you doing? What's your job? Byron, are you planning to take Ellen to the UK sometime in the future? No, I am not. It's she might meet my other wife, and I wouldn't want that. Blue Jays are a baseball team. Shaney7766. Are they really? Didn't know that. I didn't know they played baseball in Canada. There you go. Now the reason I'm not going to take, well, I'm not in the near future. It's very, very difficult to get a visa, and I'm not in any particular rush to go to the UK. So no, I think our holidays. We're going to Vietnam at Christmas. We just did Thailand a few months ago. So I think our plans in terms of holidays for the foreseeable future, they'll be local countries. Very, very difficult, I think, to get a visa to bring a girlfriend back to the UK. You've got to go through all sorts of hoops. And she has never expressed an interest, and wouldn't really be a holiday for me, is it? When I go back to the UK, I will have to go and see family and friends and things. When I go back to the UK, I've got lots of people to visit, so that wouldn't really be much of a holiday for her. And I couldn't go back and just have a holiday and not go and see my parents and uncles and cousins and friends and things. And I wouldn't wish meeting my family on her. I mean, don't get me wrong, they're good people, but you know, I haven't really met her family, so I could hardly expect her to come back to the UK and spend copious amounts of time with my family. So, Shaney, what's your job? Don't be so secretive. Good Lord, the chat has come to an end. I don't know what to say when, oh, here we go. Shaney, I work for an international company in money area. Let's leave it at that. I travels quite often. Well, there you go. Let's leave it at that. You're a secretive woman. There's nothing wrong with that. Although you've got my mind wandering now. She works for an international company in the money area. So you're money laundering, Shaney. Don't worry, your secret is safe with us. There we go. Keep the chat coming. Anyone boxing fans on here tonight? There you go. Ellen's working in the other office. That's another reason why I started doing it now. She's in her office. So she'll start blaring the music out in a minute. So no more chat. So I'm going to have to think, right, Shaney, I use overseas laundromats. I wouldn't have you down as a money launderer. You're too classy for that. Mind you, a lot of money to be made. Don't judge people. Well, there you go. Ask me something else, Byron. Ask me something else, Mike. What are you chaps doing? Different time zones there. What's the time in Canada now, Shaney? I was working on a basis. A, it would keep me awake, but also Ellen does she just started work now. She gets up at 3 o'clock. She starts phoning Americans. So I thought this might be a good time. Scandinavia, how's the earthquake recovery going? No idea, mate. I don't think this one is as bad as the other one in terms of loss of life and things, but not really seen anything on the news. They've not really made as much of a fuss about this one as they did about the one last week in Cebu. So yeah, I don't know if there is a lot of recovering to be done. I must admit, the videos and that on Facebook this time, they weren't as dramatic as the last one, so there's probably not as much. I'm just going to put the aircon on because I'll switch the fan off and it gets a bit hot without the fans on. Fans are too noisy for live stream. Shiny money this weekend in crypto crashed so hard. Yeah, well, there you go. You see, I am not a crypto guy. Never will be. What's that new one? Someone was trying to tell me about the other week. I've got a couple of friends who invested in XPR. Is it? That's going live. One of them put a hell of a lot of money into it, but not for me. Don't understand it, so I will not take the risk. Shiny PM. So it's the afternoon there. Michael B, cleaning out basement will be in Bocalod, Sillai City, starting November. Well, good for you. Have you been there before? I mean, is it a regular haunt? Do you have a girlfriend there, or are you just visiting for the first time? What's the score? IT Crazy Fish would happily buy you a Chang in Bangkok. And I tell you what, I would happily drink it. Crazy Fish. I do like a Chang. Singer is my favourite, but can't get that as easy. I don't think I even drank a Singer last time we went back, but can't stand Leo. Well, you never know, mate. Next time I'm in Bangkok, I will look you up. But we don't have any plans to go there anytime soon. Squandering Asia, XRP. That's the one, XRP, yeah. They've been telling me great things about XRP, that one of their investments could be worth 110 million in 10 years' time. But equally, it could be worth nothing, couldn't it? Anyway, I'm not going to say too much in case they're watching, but I don't think they even know I've got a channel. IT Crazy Fish. BLAO is Dogs Blix. Yeah, I can believe that. Squander in Asia. There's potential in XRP, to be honest. Almost everyone I know has some. Yeah, well, they seem to think it is, and they're not in Bitcoin or anything. They seem to think it's a big thing, but maybe I've missed the boat. I'm not quite sure what it gets launched or something, or there's something happening with it, isn't it? Because one of them's invested. I'm not going to go into how much he's got in it, but they were getting excited about something that's happening in a week or two. But I don't know. Riggy, good morning from Bangkok. I'm very sad to hear the many natural disasters in the Philippines. I was in Bangkok earthquake earlier this year. I know how scary it is. What time is it in Bangkok now? You're an hour ahead of us, aren't you? And Crazy Fish, what are you two doing up at 4 o'clock? He's an hour ahead, isn't it? You're an hour ahead or an hour behind? I think you're an hour ahead. You're up late. Mickey B, Bocalod to follow Filipino retirees. They said, come on over, visit us. Well, there you go. Well, I hope you enjoy it. I was out with a guy the other day, one of the subscribers. I might video him next week. He has moved over to the Philippines. Or not moved over to the Philippines. He's come here for a month to the Philippines. His plan was to go to Bocalod for a few days, come here for a few days, then go to Bohol for a few days. He's wrecking out the Philippines to see if it's a place for him to live. And he hated Bocalod. I met him on Monday night and he was blown away how good Dumagetti was. And I was like, well, why do you think he's so good? And he said, compared to Bocalod. And I thought, well, you might not think that in a week. But he messaged me tonight. He's blowing Bohol off. He's not bothering. He's staying here in Dumagetti for the rest of his trip. He reckons he wants to explore it more because he thinks this might be the place for him. So I don't know what that says about Bocalod. I'm not knocking it. I've never been. but I've never met anyone who's come to Dumagetti from Boccolod who likes the place. But there are probably lots of people in Boccolod who don't like Dumagetti. That's why they don't come back. Each to their own. It's 2:11, Crazy Fish. So you're an hour behind us then, okay. Ricky, 2 a.m. in Bangkok. Ricky, I'm the same as you. I see all the crypto as basically as casino. Yeah, I tell you, mate, I know I'm probably stupid. I've got some friends who have made a lot of money out of it. And my attitude would be take the money out now. Don't keep it in. Because to me, I think it's just a bubble. Can't see how it's not going to collapse at some stage. But I know nothing about investments and things like that. I'm just scared of doing it. I can't see the point. Shaney, you never know. You never know. Is crypto better in out quick? It could be the quick in and out, eh, Shaney? By the way, Indon's like elephant beer, but Singer is okay. I don't. Yeah, I like Singer. I don't like Leo. Crazy Fish. I've just ordered Domino's in my condo in Hoa Quang. I would like to be able to order Domino's. Can't do that here. We don't have a Domino's. I mean, you could order some stuff now, but there's not a lot decent open at this time of night in Dumagetti that you'd want to order. I mean, McDonald's and Jollibee and that are, but don't have it. Never was a fan of Domino's though. I wouldn't order one anyway. I like Papa John's. Do like a Papa John's. Byron, have you missed my message? I think I did, Byron, but I went back again. I did go back, didn't I? About the casinos. I think I did. Tell me if I haven't. Tell me again. I'll go right back up. Mike Thompson, Thailand, an hour behind. Okay, yeah. I knew it was an hour because we went there recently, but I thought it was an hour ahead, an hour behind. Okay. Hey, Wooters here. Greetings from Bruges, Belgium. Greetings, Bruges. I've told you this before, Wooter. Bruges is my favourite Belgium city. I think it's a lot nicer than Brussels. And it's a lot nicer than Antwerp. They're the only three I've really spent much time in. Ricky, IT Crazyfish, I'm in Thonglaw. There you go. You made new friends. Good to meet you, Ricky. That's what we do on our live streams. We introduce people. They make friends. Could be the start of a beautiful relationship. Scandinavia, are there any top quality rooftop bars in Cebu? I don't know. I think there probably would be. I'm pretty sure there are. I've only been to Cebu City once. And there are a lot of shopping malls there with, you know, restaurants and bars and things. And I imagine some of them would be on the route. I imagine you must do somewhere. I would be surprised if there isn't, but I haven't been to any and I can't recommend any, I'm afraid. I'm not a fan of Cebu City. Walter, yes, the verified rooftop is great. Be there at sunset. There you go. Walter's answered the question. I thought it must be. Tim Murray, hey Tim, how you doing, brother? Here's an interesting fact. Many radio control models are built in Philippines and Thailand. Wow. I'm not going to sleep tonight now, I know that. Crazy Fish, I lived in Huang Quang near the market. C2C Irish YouTuber Alpha Amiga there all the daytime. Byron, you have missed a message. Can you go back? I will go back. Oh, Shaney, thank you very much. You didn't have to do that. That's very generous of you. Thank you very much, Janie. Thank you. And my chat, I like that message as much as there you go. Hope your channel does well. It's not cringy. Thank you. It's not doing very well. It's not going very fast. My views are dropped, but it's talking to people like you, Shane, in the live chats. Make it worthwhile. I don't want to be cringy. Right, I'm going to go back and see what Byron's comment was that I missed, because that's the way we do it. I got the are you planning to take Ellen to the UK sometime? I answered that question. No, I haven't missed your message. I answered that, Byron. I think that's, if you're talking about am I planning to take Ellen back to the UK, I answered that. Thank you again for that, Shiny, and the wonderful words about the channel. It's much appreciated. No, I did answer that. I said, no, I don't have any plans to take Ellen to the UK in the near future. Ellen has never shown a desire to go there. I explained all that. And I'm in no hurry to go back. And as I said, if I go next, I've not been back for several years. So when I go back, I would have to spend the whole time, visiting family and friends and things. So it would not be a holiday for her. Yeah, I have gone back twice now, Byron, and that was the only message, and I answered it in quite in detail. Interesting name, Byron. Are you any relation to Lord Byron? There you go. Everyone is shell shocked with Shaney's donation or super chat and the kind words. It's stunned everyone into silence. No one is talking now. But we have 18 people and 5 likes. That's more than I could ever dreamt of. Just going to double check the boxing hasn't started yet. See, the trouble is when you're waiting for a fight to come on, there is always a chance that the undercard will go very quickly and it will be knockouts and it could start before. No, it isn't. No, they're still going. Round 7 of 10. And I think there's one more fight after that. Right, there we go. Right now. And what have I gone and done now? I've gone and lost my live stream page. Right, I'm back. Full attention. But no one is asking me anything. I'll ask you some questions. Is anyone a boxing fan out there? Why do you like baseball, Shaney? I've never been to a baseball game, but I do like cricket. So I imagine, having seen American sports, I can't stand basketball, can't stand American football. Hockey I might possibly get into, but if I was living in America, I would, I think baseball would be my thing. I think baseball is what I would give a go. Okay, Byron, no, the second message is about being scammed in the Philippines. I can see it on screen. Well, I tell you what, Byron, I can't see it on my screen. So I don't know what's going on there. Yeah, it's definitely not there. I've gone through it twice now. So, and usually when there's a message that YouTube doesn't like, it says it's retracted, but yours is not showing, mate. So you try asking it again. Michael B, where's the fight? It's in the UK. It's in Sheffield. It's a big fight for me because I love my boxing, but it's not for world title or anything. It's a heavyweight clash between, he probably is my favourite heavyweight boxer, Dave Allen, fighting a Russian guy called Makhmudov. And he's a bit of a Cinderella guy because his career was going nowhere. Everyone thought he was finished, and now he's come back and he's always had the talent, but he's concentrating now. And if he wins this, he could be, the world's his oyster. Shaney, I love baseball and hockey plus football. Yeah, well, you see, Aunt Shaney, I mean, you probably love the basketball. I mean, I'm making an assumption now because, it's big in the Philippines. But I like European sports. I find the American sports, they're too high scoring. You go to a football match, you get excited if you see a goal, maybe 2 or 3. Basketball, goal, 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 goal. Just can't get excited about it. But I think baseball would be my. I can see the attraction of baseball, and I played baseball or tried to play it, and I respect how fast the bowling and that is. Hockey, yeah. I've never watched a game, but I did like the film Slapshot. Watergeese, Squander. The verified rooftop bar is on the Evening building. Free entrance, good quality food, sometimes live music, and affordable. Food and drinks for a couple will be 2,000 definitely. Well, there you go. It depends what you're drinking, mate. What if they're drinking a bottle of Cristal? If you can get that in the Philippines, but that's a lot more expensive than it would be in. I know it's cheap by European standards. It's a lot more expensive than it would be in. You could drink a lot in Dumaguete for 2,000 pesos. Robert Crusader, are you settling down in your new area? And what's living in a house with so much glass? Like living in a goldfish bowl. Yes, answer. I have to. Ellie gets upset because sometimes I'll come out the bedroom in the morning and I'll be naked, and I'm not a pajama kind of guy, and she'll be panicking that people can see me through the windows. But fortunately, all the glass is tinted, so you can't see in anything unless you have the lights on. But no, we're loving it. We're really happy here. Why in God's name anyone would have built so much glass is beyond me. I was talking to the neighbour and he was saying this was a huge house once. This was the garage area. So this was once a garage for several cars, but they turned it into a house. But they should have done drywalling instead of all this glass, you know, just to partition the bedrooms and things. But it is what it is. Wuta, Cinderella guy. Yeah, that's what they call him. They're starting to call him the Cinderella Man now. They are starting to call him the Cinderella Man. Few people have said that. And it's a bit like that story. It really is. He was everyone had high hopes for him, but he suffers from depression and things, and he never really trained. And every time he got to the top level, he got found out. But everyone said it's because he didn't train. He's got all the talent in the world, but he never does anything. And then he retired and he stayed out of it. And then he's had 2 kids now, and he came back and he lost a fight to can't think who he lost it to now, which he possibly could have won. He got stopped, and he retired again. And then he came back. Fraser Clark beat him, and then he came back, and now he's come back. Fought a guy called Johnny Fisher. No one gave him a chance. Was robbed on points in Riyadh. Won that fight easily. And then he knocked him out the last fight. And because he's so down to earth and he's so honest, everyone loves him. I mean, he sold out the Sheffield Arena. But, yeah, it's exciting because he has got a lot of talent. And he's tough as boots. Very clever. Michael B., if you go to baseball or hockey, you would be amazed how quiet it is. What, compared to European events? Shaney, may I give you advice? Yes, you can. Of course, you just gave me super chat. You can do whatever you want. You ask your girlfriend to make bank account and put 100k pesos and leave it there. It will be so much easier for travel later. Well, she has a bank account, and she's usually got quite a lot in there. I don't think she's got 100k in there. I mean, we could do that, but yeah, I'll look into that. I'll speak to her about that. The thing is, I've been told by everyone, or a lot of people, not everyone. I haven't spoken to everyone, but a lot of people have told me, and the advice seems to be, once you have left the Philippines once and you've got the stamp in your visa, it's supposed to be a lot easier the next time you leave. Because if you think about it, I mean, they let us go to Thailand. Yeah, we had the interview, but we've been to Thailand. We were together. We went. We came back again. What would be their excuse to stop us going to Vietnam? She's still got the same job, still living in the same place. We're still together. You know, they've done it once. How could they stop us? But I think last time she had, we made sure I can't remember how much, but she had several £100s in the account. But they didn't ask for any of that because she had the bank statements and things. They weren't, it felt like when you interviewed, they were just going through the motions. They clearly weren't that, you know, they weren't trying to catch her out. It was just like a box exercise. Show me this, show me that, show me this. Never really got the impression, she said, that they were going to deny her. But that's good advice. Thank you, Shaney. Michael B., I searched Google for boxing UK and got a holiday in UK. LOL. Now, just type in Dave Allen fight. Dave Allen versus Makhmaduk. It's on the Zone. But you can get it on. There's lots of channels that are showing it. Probably shouldn't be showing it. Water Geese. Oh yes. Did you fill up the bar unit? No, I haven't filled up the bar unit. I'm not really drinking. I will at some stage. I mean, there is a bottle of coffee liqueur up there that I've purchased, and there's a bottle of vodka in the fridge. But they've been here a while now. I've stopped the old cocktail chats. If I have a party at some stage or have friends around for dinner, I will top it up then because it looks a bit strange if you've got empty bottles. But not really. I don't really drink when I'm in the house. Shaney, I don't live basketball. So much weirdo in my country. LOL. But they love it, don't they? They live for the basketball. I mean, every brand I imagine it's everywhere, but it amazes me. Every night you go out, there'll be a basketball game somewhere. And they like the boxing there. I mean, I went to see a boxing match in basketball a few months ago, or kickboxing. Tim Murray, R.I.P. Ricky Hatton. Yeah, very sad, very sad, very sad. Yeah, it was. And a lot of people love him. He was a very popular fighter. Tim Murray, Byron, were you a fan of Ricky Hatton? Yeah, I saw him fight a few times. I saw him fight in Vegas. I went to see him fight Mayweather in Vegas. I saw him fight... I can never pronounce the guy's name. Mariani. Oh, God. Little guy, he won. He fought in the MGM Grand. I saw him fight, and I went over for the Pacquiao fight. So I saw him fight 3 times in Vegas. I wasn't particularly a fan until the first time that when he fought Floyd Mayweather. But that was a brilliant week. There were 30,000 British there. That was my best time ever in Vegas. Not for the fight as such, but Hatton probably, yeah, I was, to answer your question, yes, I was a big Ricky Hatton fan. He was a great fighter. The way he went to the body punching was amazing. And it's just sad he died, particularly the way he died. I mean, depression. I was watching a few things. His funeral was yesterday, and a lot of people have said he could never come to terms with the Mayweather loss and the Pacquiao loss. Not that he had lost, but the fact he felt he had let the fans down, which is sad if that's true, because he didn't. I mean, there were amazing nights. Shaney7766. I shall go to the baseball tomorrow in Toronto. It's semi-final. You might see me behind the visitors' bench. Is it easy to get tickets over there? Are you getting that for your work because you're working in high finance, or can you just turn up? Because you couldn't. A thing like that in the UK, you couldn't. I mean, we don't have baseball, but you couldn't really turn up to a Premier League football game or, you know, Wimbledon or something like that and get tickets. Enjoy it. I hope your team wins, Ricky. RIP Ricky Hatton. Actually met him in Pacquiao back in 2022. I met him in Vegas after one of the fights at an after party. I say met him, I shook his hand, but I didn't spend a lot of time with him. But a very, very, very friendly guy. The night after, what's that? Paul Magliargi or whatever. The night after that, he was out. A couple of hours after the fight, he was playing blackjack. Where was he playing blackjack? I think it was no, it wasn't a Luxor. I think it was in the Mirage. I saw him in there. The fight was in MGM Grand, but it wasn't in there that I saw him playing blackjack. I think he was playing blackjack in the Mirage. Brian Street, bookies think a close fight, 10 to 11, both fighters. Yeah, it is. It is going to be an incredibly close fight. It is, because it's one of those fights. Makhmudov is coming off 2 defeats. Well, not 2 defeats. He won his last fight. He blasted someone out. But Makhmudov, he was the huge hope a few years ago. He's a massive guy. He's a Russian. But it was got high hopes for him, long amateur career, etc., etc., etc. So, a lot of people are backing him. But Dave Allen is smart. I mean, the thing about Dave Allen, the reason he wins everyone's hearts is no one really gave him a chance against the Romford Bull. I can't think what his name is now, the guy he beat the last time. Terrible with names. But anyway, but he's clever and he's smart and he's tough and he knows how to wear people down. So the predictions are basically, if he can withstand the pressure for the first 4 rounds, because what he does, the reason he's so exciting to watch is he old mans people. He just keeps coming and he blocks and that. And he always says from the 4th round onwards, then he just lets go. And he's an immovable object. And he's clever. It's amazing how he's not the most talented boxer in the world. He's strong, but he knows how to work inside and he knows how to. He's just got the ring craft of someone who's had like 1,000 fights, which is amazing because he only had 10 amateur fights. But he's been around for a long time and he's mixed it. I mean, he's got 7 defeats, but he has fought some great fighters in that time. I mean, he fought Dylan White. He fought Carlos Takam. He beat Lucas Brown. So he's a very. I think he's going to do it, but I wouldn't be surprised if he lost. But they're saying if he wins, he might get shot against AJ, and now that would be an interesting fight. Shaney, don't listen. Your foreign guy friend, my classmate works in. I mean, UK, USA, etc. Asian countries. It's simple. Don't listen to my foreign guy friend. Who are we talking about? I'm confused now. Don't listen to your foreign guy friend. My classmates works in. I mean, UK, USA, Asia. Are you talking about the investments? Ricky, I follow Irish Filipino YouTube travel couple Tom and Lay. They always have hard time getting visa for Filipino lady. Well, I don't know. We'll see. There's a few of us going. I mean, it's well, we'll see. So, I mean, what I'm thinking is 3 of us turn up, husbands and wives, boyfriends and girlfriends, all going together on a holiday, all got return flights booked, all got accommodation proved, etc. We will see. I don't think it's going to be a problem this time. Maybe I'm overconfident. But we don't need a visa because we're going to, don't need a visa. We just need to be let out. I mean, it might be difficult getting a visa, but that's one of the reasons why I went to Thailand. Filipinos get 30 days on entry. Vietnam, 45 days on entry. So we don't need visas. You just need the immigration people from the Philippines to let her out, which I think will be easy, to be honest with you. Michael B, UK crowds much more live than USA crowds. Uh, yeah, I think that's right. Certainly at the boxing. Certainly at the boxing. The fights I've seen. What was the last fight I went to see in Vegas? The second to last fight I went to see was Joe Calzaghe against Randall Hopkins. And it was an afternoon fight at the Thomas Mack Centre, and there was no atmosphere from the Americans. They just, I don't know, all they did was every so often they chant USA, USA, USA. And I've got nothing against that. I'm not knocking it. I mean, chant what you want, but there was no like invention in terms of like, funny chants or anything like that. And there was no like, yeah, they were very quiet. I mean, he was a Welsh fighter. So he brought a lot of Welsh. There wasn't many English there. I mean, I was there, obviously. But yeah, there must have been about 10-15% of the crowd was Welsh, and they were making all the noise. But then again, they're on holiday and they've been drinking, so they're bound to, aren't they? Carl Esteban, hi Simon. Have you ever thought of making a passive income? You could sell fruit shoots. The children and parents will clear them out when you have stock. You will have proper sales. No, I haven't thought about that. I make passive income through my property and my investments. Appreciate the suggestion, but I can't see myself doing that, to be honest. I have thought about starting another business, but it would be something online because I'm getting a bit bored. But I'll look into that, Kyle, but I'm not sure if that would be my selling fruit shoots. Not sure how that would do. Shaney, no, it's through friends, so expensive and sold out. Okay, the tickets, right, got you. That's where you got the tickets from, right, got you. Tim Murray, Johnny Fisher, yeah, Romford Ball. Don't know what's going to happen to him now. He was found out and I liked him when he beat. Oh God, who's the Croatian fighter? Guy with a beard. Who was going through it when he fought for the cruiserweight title. Anyway, I had high hopes for Fisher because he dispatched. I can't think of the guy's name now. He dispatched him in like 1 minute 30 seconds. I was surprised how easily he dealt with him the first time, because I mean he won the first fight, Alan did, but yeah, I don't think Fisher will probably come back, but I don't think he's going to do anything. He might fight for a British title, but I can't see him going any higher than that, which is sad. Shaney, sorry, as foreign guys don't do business, you will lose 9 out of 10. Don't come if no income. Yeah, don't do business. No, when I say I do business, Shane, I'm talking about online. I would sell to Europe. I wouldn't do anything in the Philippines. Shaney, no, I mean the immigration, Asian countries is not so difficult, but 100k deposits for 6 months in bank will look good for Western countries. Yeah, we're not. Yeah, if we go to a Western country, yeah, and I think I've got to pay a certain amount. Yeah, no, I hear you 100% for Western country. Yeah. Yeah, no, yeah. As I say, the way I'm looking at it. She did the second interview when we went to Thailand. We're going together again. We came back that time. She didn't come to any harm. So how could they stop us going from what would be their point of stopping us from going to Vietnam? And as I say, the people I'm talking about, they're not talking about going to Western countries. They're talking about the first time they went to Thailand. Because I know a few guys, they go over quite a lot with their girlfriends. And I said the first time they got stopped. But the first question they asked Ellen when we went to immigration this time was, have you been out of the country with him before? And she said, no. And they said, are you married? She said, no. She said, right, second interview. I'm quite sure if she had said, it's my second or third time out of the country, they wouldn't have said that. And probably if she said we were married, they might not have done the second interview because that was clearly what was interesting. So this time she had to say, no, it's not her first time out of the country. And showed a stamp. She's been a while back, so it shouldn't be a problem. John Peters 231, welcome. McGregor going into a 6-month camp to fight at the White House. Have you heard about that? Yeah, I heard something about he's going to have a fight outside the. Yeah, I'm done with McGregor. I'm not. I don't really. I respect the UFC. I watch it, but I don't follow it religiously. And I was watching something the other day. McGregor was mouthing off to someone he was going to fight. He's talking about fighting some box. I can't remember who the boxer was. And like I was saying, he's only fought like once in the last 2 years or something. I think he's a bit of a freak show now, but no offense if you're a fan of his, but when he fought Mayweather that time, I mean, that was just a joke. That was Mayweather could have taken him out at any time. Tim Murray, Babbage, the Savage. That's it, Babbage. Babbage, yeah. What's happened to him? I've not seen him for a while. Yeah, he destroyed Babbage. But then again, Babbage got knocked out in the first round. I thought Babbage was indestructible because he was going through all the domestic lower level heavyweights like a knife through butter, wasn't he? But then he fought for the Polish. Was he Polish? I think it was Polish. The for the Bridgerweight title, and the guy knocked him flat, didn't he, in the first 30 seconds? But I just put that down to a lucky punch. But yeah, Fisher. I think the way Fisher took him out. Yeah, I don't think either Babbage is going to do anything at heavyweight, and I don't think Fisher is anyway. But Fisher's young. I mean, he hadn't had an amateur career, had he? He was a rugby player, so he came in it late. But it's just the way that if you're going to be that size and that power, you need to be able to take a shot as well if you haven't got the best boxing ability. And you could just tell he couldn't take it. You know, the way Alan tore him apart. Oh, the chat has stopped again. I'm going to fold my arms and sulk. 21 people, only 12 likes. Let's get the likes up. If you like it, show that you like it. If you don't like it, don't watch it. I'll watch it, but there's no thumbs down, is there, on this? I don't think there's a thumbs down on this. But I don't know what to say when the chat stops. Oops. Right. No, fight's not started, but the other one has finished. What's the time now? No, I think we've got another hour before the fight starts. Don't worry, I won't. Oh, I've got 13 likes. Thank you very much for the extra like. I've got extra likes, but no chat. It's strange with this chat because people will be chatting and chatting and chatting and chatting, and then suddenly it just freezes, and you think, is there a problem with the chat? Has everyone gone? And then suddenly there'll be like 10 in a row. I'll have to work out why that is. There must be a pause or something. Or maybe people can't think of anything to ask me, which I could relate to. I can't think of anything to talk about half the time. So there you go. And we're down to 18 now. I'm losing people. Here we go. Neil Michaels. I just found the thumbs down button. They have a special one for Hammers fans. They use it a lot. I used to like you, Neil. It's amazing how you can be wrong about people. Tim Murray. Strange. Everyone has gone. Yes, isn't it? Isn't it? I must have said something. They must have been Colin McGregor fans. I think when I was disparaging about McGregor, the chat just stopped and we lost a few people. Well, I'm sorry. I think Tim McGregor's great. What Tim McGregor? Colin McGregor's fantastic. He's an amazing. Look at that. People are coming back now. There you go. That is probably the worst thing about living in the Philippines. Having to wait up for the football and the boxing, you know, watching West Ham at 5 o'clock in the morning and then seeing them get beaten is more annoying than it would be if you hadn't stayed up all night to watch it. And this fight is going to be more disappointing having stayed up till 5 o'clock if Dave Allen loses. And the trouble is, if Dave Allen wins, I'll be on such a high, I won't be able to sleep for a few hours. Michael G got married in Vegas after 9/11. Did you? I got married in Vegas. My first marriage was in Vegas. Where did you get married? It will make me sound like a right cheapskate, but we got married in Excalibur. It wasn't my choice. We eloped, and she said she was going to sort a wedding dress out and do all this stuff, and she was going to go there and she'd sort the wedding out. And it was my first time I'd ever been to Vegas. And she came back and said, right, we're getting married in the Excalibur tomorrow at so-and-so, and then we're going to this place for dinner, etc., etc. I didn't realise until I started going to Vegas again for the boxing, just what a dump the Excalibur is. But there you go. Anyway, I got married there. And the guy who married us was, what was his name? The Reverend Zed. He was a funny guy, like a caricature. Not what you would expect. Well, certainly not what a vicar or priest in the UK would be like. Brian Dawson, good morning from Northeast England. Good morning, Brian. How are you, mate? You got a day off? Well, you finished. It's night time now, isn't it? Are you working tomorrow? I remember now. You work for Nissan, don't you? I hope I got that right. Neil Michaels, I gave you up at 14 now, and seriously, now Harry Potter has gone, you'll do better. Yeah, we will. We won't go down under Nuno. it's just annoying that we had to put up with that nonsense. Well, it's annoying. We've got to get the board out. We've got to get our board out because they are killing the club. But don't get me started on that because I'll bore everyone to death with my views on West Ham. But yeah, we won't. I don't think we're going. I've got no doubt about it. It was so obvious what to fix, and he fixed it the first game. So how the hell Potter could have been there for 27 games and not seen what the problem was is beyond me. But he had his philosophy on how football should be played. Done my nut in that guy. Michael B, our building went down. I married a Filipina, so it was so easy to get back then, immigration. Well, your building went down in 9/11? I'm getting confused now. What, you were working there or what? I thought that's only the Twin Towers that went down. Explain, please, explain. Michael B, Little Chapel of Flowers. Dennis Rodman did the same a few months later. The Little Chapel of Flowers, is that one of the ones you can drive through? Shaney, I think because boxing talk's boring. Well, there you go, Shaney. I am sorry to bore you, sweetheart. What can I do? I'm a boring man. Come on, you've got to get to love boxing. Have you ever been to a fight? It's a lot. Don't take it the wrong way, but it's a lot better than baseball, in my humble opinion. Rob Sampson, early morning at your place, Simon. Yes, mate. Well, you were part of the inspiration, Rob, and I mean that sincerely. You mentioned a couple of times I should do some live streams that more that you could tend like more your time kind of time zone. And Jack Starr said the other week, the start of the years, that I should do them at different times. So yeah, I'm waiting up for the boxing. I thought, why not do one now? See who's about. And yeah, I'm glad I did. It has kept me awake, and I'm having fun. Hope everyone else is, apart from the people I'm boring with my boxing talk. And yeah, you're right, early morning. It's 3:44. Jim Pendergast. Hi all, surprise live stream. Yes, hi Jim, how are you doing, mate? Welcome to the party. I did put a little, I only decided to do it half an hour ago, but I did put a little announcement in the our Facebook group, so I'm going live in a little while. I'm waiting up for the boxing, Jim, so I had a little bit of time to kill, but it might keep me awake. How's life for you, Jim? Tim Murray, he had his message retracted. What did he say? Always fascinated when you get a message retracted. Have they said something offensive? Have they called me something and then thought, right, no, I'm going to take that back? Or what's happened? Was it a misspelling? Makes you wonder, doesn't it? British Filipino, hi, mate. Watching from Southern England. Wife from Dumagetti, living here. She loves it. Gutted, LOL. We'll be back in a couple of years. If I see you about, I will buy you a beer or 5. I like the 5 bit, mate. I'll tell you what. I'll make a deal with you. I'll let you. Looking forward to it, mate. Where in Southern England are you, mate? And how does your wife like it over there? Rob Sansom, LOL, thanks, mate. Jim Pendergast, all good here, thanks, Rob. Did he ask you that? I'm saying, did he ask you that? Because people are saying, I think I'm not seeing all the comments because you're saying that to Rob, and Byron was saying earlier on I'd missed one of his comments, which I can't find. So I don't know what's going on. And thank you, chaps, we're up to 18 likes. I do like that. If I get more than 30 likes, I am a happy man. Michael B, I was in the World Trade number 7, third building to fall. Think there are 2 Chapel of Flowers. This one was not a drive-through. Okay, well, there you go. You might not want to talk about it. Were you in the building at the time it fell, or were you off work and it fell and you had time off? I mean, that's yeah. I remember that day vividly, but I'm sure you remember it a lot better than I do. But it's one of those things, isn't it? Like the assassination of Kennedy. I was never there for that, but people say you'll never forget what you were doing that day. I'll never forget the Twin Towers. It's one of the few things you think, oh, that day will always be stuck in my mind because it was so unexpected. Tim Murray, I deleted my message. Tim Murray, it was boring. There you go. I'm surprised by that, Tim. You're such fun. What was boring about it? Think of something less boring to say, Tim. Bien Ban. Am I pronouncing that right? Bien Ban. Greetings from Wahin. How is Davo today? Davo today? I don't know. I have not really looked into it. And as I was saying to someone earlier on, I get the impression there's not been that much damage done. I might be wrong. Don't quote me on that. But there's no real coverage of it. You know, the last one where there was lots of people died as a boo and that, it was everywhere. It was on the news. It was this. It was that. It was this. Since that happened, not heard a lot. And I watched a couple of videos. A mate of mine, friend of the channel, Alex, he did a video because he was in a building. He put it on his live stream, like now, a building shaking and all that. So, and I've not heard anything about a death toll, so I imagine they're just ploughing on, but it's not getting a lot of coverage over here. Shaney, Vegas is super expensive now and boring like boxing. I have heard, well, boring's not boxing. Boxing's not boring. I have heard Vegas is super expensive. I lived there before. I used to go there a lot and I had a business interest there. So when I first went on my journeys, I moved to Vegas with the intention of staying there several years. But after 6 months, I got so bored of it, I got out of the business I was involved in. And I came out of the UK and I went to Thailand. But it was, I interviewed Old Dog, Paul McGill. I was talking to Paul McGill a while back because he's from Vegas originally. And a lot of people are there have told me ever since COVID, the prices have gone up and up and up. I was living there in 2013. So yeah, I've heard it's incredibly expensive. But America seems to be in general. I went back to Key West. I spent a lot of time in Key West when I was working over in the States. And I went back for a wedding a couple of years ago. And my God, that had gone up. The hotel prices were ridiculous. You couldn't get a 1-star. I didn't want to stay in a 1-star. I didn't stay in a 1-star. But when I was looking at the hotels, hotel I used to stay in had gone. That's been knocked down and built into something else. But when I went there, you get a decent hotel for like £100 a night. Now, you won't even get like a 1-star hotel for like £200 a night, like $300-400 a night just for like a 3-star hotel. Ridiculously expensive now, Key West. And I've heard in Vegas, the resort fees have gone ridiculously high, like $60-75 a day just for the resort fee. So, and they wonder why Vegas is doing so badly at the moment. British Filipina, Portsmouth. My wife loves it. She got a job as a dentist nurse within 3 days of getting here. So she don't want to go back. She makes year's salary every 4 weeks, but we will be back. Yeah, well, that's the thing, isn't it? You earn amazing money compared to here. That's why I went to the hospital the other week, because whenever you see a consultant here, you think, or you see a doctor, you think, why would you be here earning what you're earning when you could be earning 1,000 times more in another country? You know, it doesn't give you much safe, because someone told me a while ago, certainly Cambodia, the thinking used to be, if the doctors were good or surgeons were good, they'd go overseas. The ones that stayed here weren't up to much. I don't know if that's true or not, but I went to see a consultant and I got charged 700 pesos, which is, what's that, about £10? And you think, even if he's seeing 3-4 people an hour, he's only making £40 an hour. Why is he not in another country? You know what I mean? Did you see the Ben v Eubank Jr. fight? Yeah, of course I did. Yeah, I saw that. Yeah. I think you're talking about the Ben Eubank seniors. Yeah, I saw that. Great fight. But I watched the next one, but it's going to be the same again. I don't think Ben can hurt him. Don't like Eubank Jr. I've gone off Ben a bit actually ever since he's had that drug things and that. But I don't like Eubank Jr. I think he's arrogant and he's average. You know, he'll beat Ben again because he's too big for him. But all this stuff, he's going to fight Golovkin and he's going to fight Canelo and that. They'll wipe the floor with him. My main hobby is grid spotting. There you go. Well, there's nothing wrong with that. I know you're joking. I don't even know what grid spotting is. But there you go. Michael B. Diane Keaton just died, 79. There you go. That's sad. Michael B. Godfather Annie Hall. Yeah. I was never, I shouldn't say it now, she's died, should she? But I was never really a fan of hers. I like The Godfather. Quite like Woody Allen films, but yeah. Anyway, yes, it's sad that she's gone. Some strange haircuts she sported in The Godfather one. But anyway, yeah, God rest her soul. Chris Amini, I bet you love the new house. I hope the neighbours are cool. How are you feeling, brother, medically, overall, and mentally? Honestly, do you think I would lie to you? First of all, Chris, welcome to the live chat. I think this is the first one that you've joined us for, isn't it, mate? And thanks again for messaging me the last time I was sick. I appreciated that. Yeah, we love New House. We're very, very happy here, despite the problems that we've had. We've had a few, but we're very happy here. How are you feeling medically overall? Tablets seem to be working great. I had a bad day yesterday when I started to wonder if they were working, but that's the only bad day I've had on them. And mentally, honestly, I'm fine, mate. I'm fine. I don't have any worries. The problem with me is, you know, I think things too much. So I decided that it was going to be terrible news, and I only had a little while to live. And I was okay with that. And I wasn't happy about it, but that's why I kept putting it off. But you know, it wasn't something that was, you know. So now I've got the good news. I'm quite happy with it because a lot of people say you got to get biopsy, you got to get this, you got to get that. The way I look at it, at the end of the day, my PSA is low, it's enlarged. I'll get the PSA done every year. That should pick up on something. You know, I really, trust me, friend, I'm not losing any sleep over it mentally. I just, as I say, I have been pain-free since I had the tablets, apart from yesterday. So yesterday I was a little bit thinking, oh, God, these are not going to work. I don't want to go back again. But I'd learned to live with it. I'd learned to live with the pain before because it is quite painful. It's an unusual thing. It's not a lot of people say when you go to the top. I don't have any of these problems. I was just having abdominal pain all the time, and it just got worse and worse and worse. But you know, but no, mentally, mate, trust me. Mentally, I am fine. Shaney, some people in the Philippines, like your country, don't want to move from family. Everyone, same feelings, even different countries. Now, I get that. I get that, Shaney. I get that. I get that entirely. But when you can earn so much money, I mean, the reality is, you know, I mean, I have taken jobs. I mean, I know a lot of friends when I left the Air Force, they went and worked in Saudi Arabia. They didn't do it because they wanted to live in Saudi Arabia. They did it because they wanted to make enough money in a couple of years to pay for a house. Now, you know what I mean? So I get that. They might not want to leave their families, etc. So if they're good doctors and that, you know, fine. I'm just saying I find it hard to relate to. I just think if you could earn that much money, if they've done 7 years, because in the UK you've got to do 7 years as a training as a doctor, then you've got to be a junior doctor. So you're going like 10 years before you make real money. Then they make incredible money. But I don't know what the training is in the Philippines, but to think you would do all that training and then be earning less than someone doing a very basic job in a Western country just seems a strange thing to do. But I'm not judging people. I'm just saying that was the perception. And I just, you know, anyway, I've said my piece on that. Jim, London very expensive to £6.20 a pint at my local. Well, on our next trip, the San Miglite, very reasonable price. I think £6.20 is quite cheap for a beer, Jim, in London, to be honest with you, mate. The few times I've gone back recently, it's cost me more than that when I've I know it's been at the airports, but I might have mentioned this a while ago. I watch a channel occasionally. He's a guy in, don't watch it religiously, that's why I can't remember the name of the channel. I think he's from Manchester, and he goes around various cities going into local pubs with his camera, and he just gets off the tube and he maps out these, pubs in the area. He goes and has like 4 or 5 beers, and then he goes home again, and he just films as he's doing it. And he's gone to London a few times, and he's been paying like £12 a lager in some of these places. He drinks Guinness, and sometimes he switches. But yeah, most of the Guinnesses are £10 plus, which blows my mind. And they're rough pubs. I mean, the whole point is he goes to usually the rough pubs. They're not like, you know, Ponzi pubs, but the £6.20 doesn't sound that bad. I think when I went back to Caerphilly, that's where my parents live. It's the nearest town there. Not Caerphilly, what I'm talking about, Llandilo. My friend lives in Caerphilly. I think it's about £4, £5 a pint. But I like to drink Stella, which is usually more expensive. You could probably get cheaper ones for about £4, but yes, compared to here, it's extortionate. Brian Dawson, Shaney, true. Yeah. Brian agrees. I don't disagree with you. I don't disagree with Shaney, but Brian agrees with you. And Tim Murray's had his message retracted again. So he's not boring, he's exciting because he made me want to he wrote this time. Chris Meany, to be honest, about 40 to 50% of the time, I don't even get a notification when you're coming on. I have to actually look in. It bothers me that I'm not interested in your channel, LOL. Yeah, I am being, I'm not going to moan about it because it's one of those things, but I am being screwed by YouTube. But I'm probably being screwed by them in the sense that there are other channels which are better than mine probably, but I'm not getting pushed anymore. I keep getting that in the comments. I don't get notifications about your videos anymore. Someone said the other day that you don't, hasn't seen my channel for a while because he thought I'd stopped making videos. And I haven't. And I know that because ever since I changed my times, they never recovered. And since I came back from Thailand, they've never recovered. Because it used to be, I'd bang a video out and it would do okay for the first 3 hours. Then it would drop about 11 o'clock. And then about 3 o'clock in the morning, it would start picking up because most of my subscribers are Americans. And that's when they went online. And they would have an arc. And then if it was a typical video, it would just die. Some of them would keep going for a few days. But I've not had that arc in months now. You know, it just doesn't get kicked out amongst the Americans. So YouTube is screwing me, but it's my fault for not making an interesting contract. I mean, I don't think YouTube's got it in for me. If I got more views, they'd push my video. So, you know, I'm not complaining about it. I'm just saying it's the reality. I don't know what I can do about it. I think the answer is nothing. The Pentecost had a great send off. Yeah, I did. I must admit, I did get a bit emotional. Particularly, who's that? Adam? Is it Adam Clark, the Sky pundit? When he started crying, I must admit, it did bring a tear to my eye. Yeah, it was sad, particularly sad way to go, and it was a great send off. I mean, but he was a popular guy. I mean, so he took 30,000 to Vegas for the hat. I was amazed because I went over with my mate to watch it. And because we're just boxing fans, I wasn't particularly a Hatton fan. And I had no idea he had such a following. And Vegas just took off. It was like, you know, it was just Manx everywhere. And we had a great week. Shaney, you must understand some people. Have I got mixed up in my chat here? You must understand some people, families, lots of money in the Philippines. You guys not going to meet. It's different circles. I don't like it when you think girl like red light person so wrong. Okay, you talking to me? I don't know what's going on. I know there's lots of incredibly wealthy people in the Philippines. I mean, I'm a bit confused now by that. Yeah, there are some incredibly billionaires in the Philippines. Yeah, I get that. I'm just saying, you know, it's yeah. I'm a bit of a loss with that. What you mean by that? I don't think every girl's a red light person in the Philippines. All I said was it amazes me that the doctors over here are so poorly paid. I was expecting to pay a lot more than I had to for the thing. I thought it'd be a couple of thousand to see a consultant, which would be cheap by Western standards. I was just amazed it was only 700. And I was amazed how friendly he was. We chatting because he's going to Edinburgh in a couple of weeks. You think for that kind of money, he'd be trying to get you out of the office, get someone else in. Just saying, all that training, it seems a lot of studying for not a lot of pay. And when someone like Brian says like his wife is earning in a month what she'd earn in a year, I'm just surprised that so many doctors stay here and don't go. Anyway, that's all I said. I didn't say anything about red light. People, IT crazy, many digital nomads teachers in Dumaguete. Is that a question or a statement? Because if it's a statement, it's news to me. If it's a question, not that I know of. Most of the guys here are retired. Some of my friends have got businesses over here. There are a couple of guys who work here. I got a friend who's an English guy. He's got an office here. He works for an Australian company, but they've got an office here. I do know one guy who teaches online, an American guy. He teaches Chinese people English on school online. And I know a couple of other guys. I think one's an accountant. He's got a virtual business here, but I don't know many. But maybe they're the circles I move in. I mean, most of the guys I know, they're retired. You know, it's I mean, and the younger guys I know, they're nearly all ex-military, so they got their pensions. You know, so they've retired as well. John Peters 231. Have you chatted about that freak seat grandpa? I don't mean to annoy you, just saw his shot, and I hope you don't listen to him. You sound like a decent bloke. Oh, I don't listen to that dickhead. I am thinking about doing a video. I've ignored this stuff. I've completely ignored this stuff. But I did think the other day I might do a video diagnosing sick grandpa. Just how sick is he? But I might do that at some stage. But it would be like shooting fish in a barrel. No, the guy, mate, the guy, all he does is make up shit about other YouTubers. He's come into the live stream a couple of times, and I dismiss him. He's a joke because the stuff he makes says he's absolute bullshit. I mean, the first video he made about me, he's making all these aspersions, and he knows nothing about me. He knows nothing about Ellen, and the crap he came out with. So I was the biggest loser in doing Spaghetti. I might be, but I didn't have enough money to buy a coffee, and felt sorry for Ellen because she'd given up everything to be with me, and she was desperate for me to marry her, and I wasn't. It was all bullshit. And then a couple of other people, they can fight their own battles. Another vlogger I know very well, who's an incredibly wealthy guy, as you know, has a lot of property. He did a video on him saying the guy's broke and he's lost this and he's lost that. You know, it's all projection with Sick Grandpa. Sick Grandpa, I mean, you see the way he lives, the way he dresses, where he is. Anything he says about people is projection of what he is. It's like a lot of people, that thing. So, you know, he's just a lonely soul who's desperate for attention of any kind. I mean, no, I don't. That's why I feel a bit bad about if I do make a video about him, but I know to get the boost up. But it would be like shooting fish in a barrel because the guy's like, you know, everyone's broke and he's always. I've only watched a few of his things, but people send me stuff. I've not watched the last one or two he's done. I watched the first one because I never heard of the guy. But someone said, like, you know, whenever you see him, he's always outside these restaurants. He's about to go in. He never goes in them. He never does stuff. And he's always by himself. He's never with people. And he's always this and he's that. And yeah, no, I don't think about the guy. Shaney, no, I've gone up to. I pressed the click and I go up too far. Shaney, no disrespect, just saying. Okay, fine. No disrespect taken, Shaney. Jim Pendergrass, yes, that is my local price near 8.50 in London. Yeah, it's extraordinary, isn't it? Extraordinary how much it's gone up. Mind you, it's probably because there's less pubs these days, mate, isn't there? Tim Murray, I agree, Shaney. Many super rich Filipino families. My neighbour in Antipolo is Pokwang. I take it Pokwang is rich or something. I don't know what that means. But no, there are. I mean, that is one of the things about the Philippines. You notice it. There are a lot of incredibly super rich people. There's a lot of very, well, I'd say comfortable people here, but there's a hell of a lot of poor people. It's not a very equal society in that sense. Michael B. I used to work in the UK, had a pub in the basement, elevator access. Very dangerous, LOL. Rob Sampson, I got a new notification when your chat started. Yeah, well, I think the thing about that is I was going to say in a video the other day, but I couldn't find it. But then maybe it's because it's my channel in the sense that there used to be, you could ring a bell. And I was going to say, because a few people have said in the comments they didn't know I was making videos anymore, I was going to say at the end of the video, if you want to be notified, because some people are missing them, subscribe, like, ring the bell, you'll get notified. But then I just double checked to see if there was a bell, and I haven't got one. But that might be because I'm logged in as me, so I can't ring a bell. Do you still have a bell? I'll have to get Ellen to check because I'll ask people that, you know, to ring the bell or let them know. Shaney, Tim Murray, yes, not bragging, but depends on your family history. Sad but true. Shaney, no, it's not you. I observed others. Sorry for confusion. Okay, that's cool. Yeah, no, a lot of people do. A lot of people do. It makes me, you know, you meet some of the expats that come over here, not people I associate, but some of the newbies, and they get off. And my God, they think because they have some money, and these are generally people who buy UK and do not have a lot of money, that they're going to come here and Filipinos are going to throw themselves at them because they're so desperate, etc., etc., etc. And then after a few days, they get upset because they're not the catch they thought they would be. And you think, what the hell were you expecting? Like, you know, yeah, some people do think that. I get that 100%. But you get delusional people everywhere. You know, it is an unfortunate thing. Crazy Fish question. Yeah, the question. Okay, yeah, in answer to the question, yeah, no, not many, but there might be a lot I don't know. I mean, it always amazes. I was out the other night, and I shouldn't have been. I was out late, and I nearly got in a row with a couple of American guys, which was stupid, particularly because one of them about 6'5", massive guy it was. But fortunately, it got diffused. And I just said to him after, I said, like, look, mate, you know, you got, you know, because he apologised. I said, look, fair enough. He said, I don't mean to disrespect you. I said, mate, but you've got to realise, you know, because he kept trying to buy us drinks, kept saying, get these guys drink, get these guys drink. And he was drunk and he was buying. I kept saying, I don't want to drink, I don't want to drink. He's like, get and buy me drinks. So anyhow, I was, look, mate, I tell you, I've had enough of this. What makes you think I need you to buy me drinks? That's how it started, and it got a little bit heated. But I said to him, he came over and apologised to me, an American guy I was with, and they said, look, you don't have to behave that way here, Anyway, the reason I'm telling that story is, he said he'd been here 2 years. So I was like, how the hell have I not seen him around? Because he's like a bodybuilder. He's like about 6'5". It turned out as well, what diffused the argument was he was ex-military police in the American Air Force and American Army. But anyway, I digress now. But so the point is, one reason I'm telling that story is there are people I don't know. I think I know everyone here because I move in certain circles, go to certain places, certain restaurants, and I think I know everyone. But the fact he's been here looking like he was, and I'd never seen him for 5 years, 2 years, sorry. There probably are a lot of, digital nomads or online teachers I don't know about. I mean, I only really know a certain part of Dumagetti and parts of Bekong. There are probably lots of people living up in Darwin and over in Sibilan, or I don't know, I can never pronounce the name of the place that I don't know. So maybe there are, but in my circle of friends, I only know one online teacher. Neil Michaels, maybe the consultant gave you a reduced rate as he'd heard you are the biggest bum in the Philippines. Could have been. That's probably what it was. And that's probably why he gave me a discount on the pills, mate. His mates with Grandpa put a good word in for me. And by the way, I'm not the biggest bum in the Philippines. I'm the biggest bum in Dumagetti. Jim Pendergast, Janet, our daughter, works as a nurse here in the UK and gets more than a qualified doctor in the Philippines. Yeah. Well, that's what surprised me. I don't know what doctors get in the Philippines, but 700 pesos, and it was in the hospital, was in Ace Hospital. He had a room there, and he worked in Cinnamon before. So I don't know what the arrangement is there. He either works for the hospital, in which case he won't get the whole 700, or he is renting the room off the hospital, in which case he doesn't get the full 700. I mean, there's no way that's all going in his pocket and the hospital's not getting out of it some way or another. And I think when we got there, he had 4 patients in front of us, but 2 of them left because he was late. And he finished up shortly afterwards. So I don't think he could have seen more than 4 patients. So the most he would have got is 2,800 pesos for that hour. And that wouldn't, anyway, it is what it is. But as Shaney said, and his wife's a doctor as well. So, I mean, by Filipino standards, I'm sure they have a great standard of living. I know his wife's a doctor because her certificates are on the walls as well. And they're going to Edinburgh on holiday in a couple of weeks, Edinburgh and London. Which amazed me because he said to me he was going to Edinburgh. He was talking about the flights, and he said he'd turn around to his wife because he didn't want to go. His wife wanted to go. And he'd said to her, I'm not travelling economy all that way. Get us business class. And she said, are you sure? And he said, yeah, get it. I don't care what it costs. And then she said to him, it's 2 million pesos. So we said, no, right, don't do it. We'll go economy. 2 million pesos return flight to the UK business class. God, I wouldn't pay that either. That would be a lot for a European consultant. Ricky, sick grandpa video came up on my feed the other day. You look really rough, like a homeless rough. Yeah, well, that's the whole point, isn't it? That's what I said to him the first time I did the video. He's calling me a broke bum, and he's wearing like a $5 Kmart shirt, and he's always wearing the same shirts, because I see him on the thumbnails. I don't watch the videos. And he came on one of my live streams once and like tried to disrupt it. So I thought I'd go on one of his live streams. And he's like in this cramped up little bed sit on his couch eating like, I think it was tin meatballs and spaghetti. And he's calling everyone out. Listen, I don't judge people by their wealth. And I really, really don't. But it's a bit rich when you're him and you're saying everyone's broke bum and can't afford a coffee when you're eating, local brand tinned meatballs and spaghetti and you're dressing the way you are. And someone else said that, because he was on about living the dream. He was trying to disrupt my live stream. I said, living the dream, mate. You talk about living the dream. I've seen where you live. You're not living the dream. So what are you talking about? And he said, yeah. And another guy said, well, if you're living the dream, why were you staying in a 1-star hotel when you were in Pattaya? Because I saw you. I know where you were staying. You were sitting in a bar by yourself just off Walking Street. And he said, well, why waste money? So there you go. He stays in 1-star hotels. So again, I'm not judging him for that, but trust me, a 1-star hotel in Pattaya is not of a high standard. But this guy's not broke. This guy's rich. This guy's living the dream. We're all broke. We're all bums. We're all desperate. We're all, you know what I mean? That's what I'm saying. It is classic projection, mate. Classic projection. Guy's got, he's sick. He really is sick. But it's a neurosis with him. He knows he's sick. Hence, he calls himself Sick Grandpa. If it was a psychosis, he wouldn't realise. But that's what I'm thinking of doing. I didn't want to know. I've got a psychology degree. I don't use it, but I thought I might, that's what I'm saying, diagnosing Grandpa. I could, because he does display the symptoms of a number of mental conditions, but I don't know if I go down that route or not. Shaney, Pok Wang is celeb in the fields. There you go, Pok Wang. So basically, I'm a minor Pok Wang in Dumageddon. I know I'm not a Pok Wang, but I've learned a new word. I try and learn Filipino. The trouble is, every word time I learn something, it's gone. I can't. It must be my age, but I gave up a few months ago. It was so disheartening. I'd try and learn a couple of lines, and I'd like really saying, and I'd have it, and I'd repeat it in 10 minutes. It'd be gone, and I'd get it, 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 and I'd wake up 4 or 5 hours later, and it was gone completely. I remember the Spanish words. If there's a few Spanish words in the phrase, then I'm more likely to remember it. But it's because there's no reference to. They don't sound like any other words. But I will try and remember Pok Wang. Christopher Meany, the American guy buying him drinks is like you and Sig when you live there. I've been lost again. Are we talking about? I don't know who we're talking about. What guy who buys him drinks? Oh, like the American guy buying him drinks is like you and Sig when you got there. No. It wasn't. It was totally different. It's totally different. These two guys were just they were having a good time and they were being loud, and which was fine. But they had a few Filipinos who they were being like I was. But I never used to be like that. I wouldn't be buying drinks for the old round or whatever. I was very much, I'd go in the bar and I'd be like, if I saw a couple of Filipinos, I said, do you fancy a drink? That was it. I wouldn't keep saying like shots for them, shots for, because it was literally shots for them, shots for them. And like, we're like, no, thank you very much. Don't want a shot. I'm fine. Cool. Because we're just having quite a drink, 3 of us. And then it was like, get them another shot. And the bar staff kept turning over the glasses, which means they're paying for it. You can have it later. So I'm like, no, I don't want it. So I was saying, look, take it back. I don't want the drink. There's no problem or whatever. But this went on for like an hour. And he kept coming over and like, rubbing the things like, have this shot and that. And then you're like, look, just leave us alone. You know what I mean? I was never like that, Chris. Never like that. Certainly not the Westerners. I don't buy Westerners drinks unless I'm drinking with them. Some of the Filipinos I was out with, if we went out, like what I would do is if we went down like to JJ's when they had the beach party, I would, instead of like buying a drink for myself, I'd get a vodka rum tower, because I was with 6 or 7 people, so they could have a drink. But I was never like that. And that was, I'd only arrived here. That guy's been living here 2 years. And it was a local bar. That was the thing about it. It's a local bar. I know the owners. Well, I was drinking with the owner because one of the owners was like, that's what annoyed me, because the owner was like sitting there and it was annoying him, even though he was getting more money out of it. So after a while, I'm thinking, right, if he should be saying something, not me. But I just had enough in the end. I was like, Shaney, if he doctor his family doctors, he'll do fine. It's all a family thing. Oh, yeah, no, I know, Shaney. As I said to you just then, or so before, by Philippine standards, I mean, by the average Dumagettis, he's very wealthy. Very wealthy. It's just like, I always took the attitude. That's why I'm not working out. I always wanted, when I left the Air Force, to earn as much money as possible. So at some stage, I didn't have to work or do anything again. I never envisaged working after a while. I was never going to be, that was always my plan. So if I was him, I'd be thinking, right, where could I go for 5 years and accumulate so much money I can come back, build a house and swimming pool? But that's me. He obviously thinks differently. Or maybe he doesn't. Maybe he plans to, because he did say he'd worked in Vietnam, at a hospital there for a couple of years. I don't know if that was for training or whatever. because he was talking about that. But no, yeah, fine, I get it. You know, he's happy. His wife's got a salary. He's got his kids. They're in school. I get it 100%. I'm just saying, to me, it would be a temptation. For him, it might be a temptation he resists. Maybe it's not a temptation. But no, I'm well aware they're going to be doing well, the two of them. Jim Pendergrass, yes, thought of going business class, but far too expensive. Usually try to get exit seats. Yeah, I used to get exit seats all the time. I don't know why. When I was in Thailand, I went for a stage in Thailand because I was getting the coach down from where I was. Always have to get the airport a little bit earlier, you know, because you can't risk being delayed. So I'd always get there early, and I'd go and get my ticket. And invariably, for about like 9-10 flights in a row, it'd say to me when I checked in, because I think it's a combination of me being there early and being a single traveller. But they'd always say to me, you know, not all the time, but there was a period about 7 or 8 flights where they'd say, "Do you mind having an aisle seat, a window seat?" And I'll say, "Yeah, thank you very much." And I'd take it. I suppose because I'm of a certain height or whatever, and I'm by myself, and so I always got window seats. So I stopped booking seats in advance. I'm no interest to get the window seat. But the trouble is, when now I've gone away with Ellen's like worried we won't be able to sit together. So we booked the seats. And they've been short flights, so I'm not worried. I thought about going business class when we went to Thailand because you could bid on them. You know, there were some available, so you could put in a bid. But it was still worked out like £500 more, even if my bids had gone in. So I didn't bother. I can't. I'm not wasting money on stuff like that. But yeah, it's amazing. Vicky, did you had a psychology degree? That's impressive, Poe. Well, not really. It's a long time ago. I did a degree in cognitive psychology. I studied as a hypnotherapist. It was something I was going to go into. So I'm not a clinical psychologist, which is why I feel a bit bad doing a clinical review of it. But you do touch on it in the training. But yeah, I've never used it. Never used it. Shaney, no, it's not a person. It's a person, not a word. LOL. Oh, Pogwang is a celebrity, so he's actually a person. I didn't realise that. I'm making a fool of myself. I don't know. It must be his glass. I keep jumping. I've read one, and I go back and I miss one. Tim Murray, can you psychoanalyze someone who goes squid spotting? LOL. Yeah, but I won't want to hurt your feelings, Tim. John Peters, 231. How is a new place? Glad I don't have to hear about that fucking road to the old place again. Hope you're enjoying it. I only did 2 videos on that road. Come on, mate. 2 videos, and they did well. Yeah, don't miss the old place at all. Don't miss the old place at all. We could be getting close to the fight now. But the new place is fantastic. Shaney, Murray, what's grid spotting mean? I don't think he really does do grids. I don't actually know what it is, but I think it's like something boring, you know, like train spotting or whatever, I'm guessing, to do with maps. I don't know. I don't actually know. But I think Tim likes a laugh and he's a funny guy. So I'm not sure if he's serious about that. Chris Romini. So, well, first of all, we don't have to apologise for anything, Chris. Sorry, brother. I didn't mean to get you all riled up. It was more of a joke. I get it next time. Just tell the person you're driving. Works for me. Yeah, well, it was different because I was already drinking and I was driving. Anyway, now, mate, I wasn't offended. I wasn't offended. Trust me, mate, 100%. I get you, Chris. Don't worry. I am quite thick-skinned, mate. Tim Murray, some people like train spotting and plane spotting. Some people, sad people like me, like grid spotting. LOL. There you go. I thought it was something along those lines. Shaney, okay, sorry, I not understanding. Cheers. I don't believe him. I don't believe him. Mind you, it might be. It's to do with maps, isn't it? Grid spotting. I mean, like sailing and that. He's into his water sports. I don't think he's into that. Brian Dawson. Some doctors here in the UK will also do private consulting for things like insurance claims. Yeah, of course I do. Yeah, I know. Yeah, and they charge. That's what surprised me. I've seen a couple of private. Last time I saw a private doctor in the UK, it cost me £150. But you're supposed to get the hour. I didn't get the hour, but I think that was for an hour. We didn't need an hour. But I mean, yeah. So you're comparing £150. That was at the Nuffield Hospital, or a Nuffield Hospital, to 700 pesos, which is a huge difference. I mean, it's 15 times. Oh, drainage grids. Now I know he's joking. Yeah, drainage grids. Yes, I'm sailing tomorrow in a competition around the Isle of Wight. There you go. You see, he's a sailor. He's into his was it master and commander? He's a captain. Yeah, yeah, grid. Is that really a thing? Grid spotting? I imagine it is. I know there's people go around. I watched it the other day, and each to their own. They look for special stamps in walls where builders have put markings and things, you know, like, and there's like little symbols, and they go around looking for them in masonry and that. You know, it's harmless. Tim Murray, skipper, aye. Right. Hold on 1 second. I'm just going to put the volume on to find out where we are. No, the fight's still going. You're stuck with me for a little while longer. But don't feel obliged to stay. I know I go on a bit too long sometimes. I'd love it if you did stay, but, you know, I don't want to. I won't think you're rude if you leave. John Peters 231. Could you ever move back to the UK, or would you want to? I live here in Manila. I think things have gone to fuck back home. Yeah, I don't want to move back to the UK, but that is not because I've got listen, I know a lot of people feel that the UK has gone to hell, but that's not my experience. If anything, the UK's improved the places I used to live in. And got to remember, I came from East London. That's all been gentrified and that now. I know it's like, you know, there was no Canary Wharf and that where I lived there. So all that has improved if that's the kind of thing you want. But no, I did a video on it once. I just got bored with the UK. You know, I'm quite sure if I had lived my life in Thailand and I went to the UK for the first time, I'd probably fall in love with the place and want to live there. You know what I mean? It was just for me, the UK was, as I've said many times, I have a theory there are 60 people in the UK. And you just keep meeting the same people. And after a while, when you go out, you know what someone's going to say, you know what they're going to do. You know, it just lost its, I just got bored of it. But it certainly wasn't, it has gone to the dogs or all this kind of stuff. I know certain areas have done worse than others, but I like, yeah, I don't know. My family are there, they're happy there. You know, you hear the things, you see the things. When I go back, I've not seen the things that, you know, that people are complaining about. But no, I wouldn't want to go back. Just because, yeah, I'm happy living in Asia. I'm happy living in Dumaguete. I mean, I'm happy here. So why would I go back? But still kept the house and that there, you know, if I need to. So I would, you know, because you never know how things are going to turn out. If I had to go back, I would adjust. I mean, someone asked me once, could you survive if you went back to the UK? Meaning, could you take it mentally? Yeah, get back into it, wouldn't you? You know, but I'm happy here. And the reality of the UK is, I'm quite financially comfortable off living in the Philippines. But if I went back to the UK, I'd have to work again. I mean, that's the reality. I don't want to work. You know, I'd have to start a business. You know, I couldn't live the lifestyle I want to live because it's too expensive in the UK. You know, I couldn't go out for meals, you know, any night of the week I wanted to, or whatever. You have to economise. You know what I mean? In certain places you couldn't, you know. So it's a lazy thing that took me away from the UK. Laziness. Rob Sampson, sounds like your new place is quieter. Is it because of the time? No, the new place is so quiet. It is unbelievable. If you notice the last couple of videos I've done, I did that interview with Patrick. We had a brownout, and I had the doors open. So I had the doors wide open, because they're all glass doors, you know, all the French doors, patios, they were open. Hardly hear a sound. This place is so quiet. It's we're very lucky. I don't know why it's so quiet. I was saying to Ellen the other day, because we live in a subdivision, but it's not like the classiest subdivision, but there were no roosters or anything like that, you know. So I don't know if they're banned from having roosters here, but there just aren't any. I assume it must be a rule, but, you know, a couple of friends of mine saw the video and said, you've overpaid for that, which I don't think I have done. And I said, well, it's all right. He said, well, no, it's strange. It's small. You can get better than that. I said, not as quiet. And I said, no. Anyway, one of them came round a few weeks ago. I said, God, he's been in Dumagetti 30 years. And he said, it's the quietest place he's ever been to. Because we're right at the end of the end road and it's all jungle behind us. And yeah, it's just quiet. You can hear a pin drop. You know, obviously it's a bit noisier during the day in the sense you might hear a scooter go by once in a while, but it doesn't get any louder than this really. Touch wood so far. Tim Murray, can you really, can you tell, you can tell you're really happy, and Ellen, although a tiny bit moody, is a top girl. She's a bit moody. No, listen, she's more than a little bit moody. She does like her, what do they call it, tempo from time to time, but I put a stop to that, more or less. She's a lot better in terms of the tempo when we first met. But it's interesting, I'm going to show her that you think she's moody, because I agree with you 100%. But I can get moody. I mean, I get grumpy in that, but I'm surprised you picked up on that, because a lot of people tell me, like in messages and things like, you know, how wonderful Ellen is, and I say, and she's wonderful, but I say, you don't know her. And a lot of people seem to think they know me. Someone said the other day, don't get involved in that, you're better than that, which is a nice thing to say, but I thought, well, how do you know I'm better than that? Trust me, I can be petty and I can be, you know, anyway, I'm just saying. But it's interesting you have said that. Rob Sampson, great. Yeah, he's great, mate. I am glad it's quiet here. Walter, Tim, remember the Fastnet race disaster? I remember of that. Can't remember much about it, but I remember it being a thing. IT Crisis, what's a typical day in the life like? Of me? Well, we're trying to cut down going out as much because the last couple of weeks have been hectic. But depends on the day. But I'm a late riser. I go to bed late, suffer from insomnia sometimes. But what's a typical day like? Depends on the day. We've kind of got into routines now. So Mondays would usually be get up, have something to eat, work on my quiz questions. If I'm doing a quiz, I'm generally working on quiz questions, or I might be doing a YouTube video. Do that at my leisure. And then in the evening, Monday, I might go and play in one of the quizzes with one of the teams on Sideways. Tuesday, we might go to the bingo. Wednesday, I might play bowls. Thursday, I always do the quiz because I'm the host. We go out. Trouble is, when we first moved here, we started going out a lot more than we did before. I think it's because we're closer and it's psychological. So I remember the stage going out every night. And there's a couple of people I started drinking very late with, you know, like 2, 3 in the morning. And then last week, I'm stopping doing that. So we're trying to be. I'm cutting it down. I'm not going out as much. But yeah, typical day. Yeah, not a lot, mate. I should really join a gym or do something. But yeah, typical days. Basically, I'm a night person, as you can tell. I'm so white. Don't really go out that much during the day. And Helen's terrified of going out during the day because she doesn't want to get too brown, as she says, which I think is ridiculous. But there you go. What's a typical day like for you in Bangkok? Janie, to eat in Metro Manila is the same as Western countries. Lots of fake news on YouTube, not so cheap. Yeah, I imagine Manila is expensive. I mean, Cebu was expensive, but not as expensive as, I mean, I've never been to Manila. I mean, I'm sure, Shani, that eating in Manila, in some of the good restaurants there, will probably be as equivalent as eating in one of the more northern cities or the smaller cities in the UK. I doubt very much it's comparable to London, to be honest with you. Might be, but you'll tend. I know Manila is like Bangkok. Bangkok is more expensive, you know, to eat in a decent restaurant in Bangkok than it is, you know, in some Western places. But trust me, London is a lot more expensive than Bangkok. I mean, a lot more. I mean, you might be right. I don't know, but. You know, well, you all know because I mean, you've been to Toronto. I mean, I've never been to Toronto. I mean, you're traveling me at work, so maybe I'm not saying you don't know what you're talking about. I'm just saying I would be surprised if, as Jim was just saying, I mean, you're talking about what we're talking. You're talking about 800-900 pesos for a beer in a average pub. Not like a flash restaurant or something like that. Would it cost you that in just like your local round the corner place in Manila. I know there are some expensive places there. I mean, they've got Gordon Ramsay, haven't they? They've got a buffet there. I know that is like London prices, but I'm sure the vast majority aren't. But anyway, maybe I'm wrong. Yeah, I've always thought. I mean, don't get me wrong. I've always thought Manila is expensive. I mean, that's one of the reasons I want to live there anyway. But you know, I'm well aware that Dumaguete is considerably cheaper than Cebu, and I'm well aware Cebu is considerably cheaper than Manila. Tim Murray, I do remember Fastnet. Tim Murray, massive storm. Ricky, plan on visiting Petrobum and Pitsanulok next week. Why? Why? I mean, don't get me wrong. I love Pitsanulok. I've always thought if I do go back to Thailand, that would probably be where I would live. And I love my time in Petrobum, but it's not really at all. When you say Petrobum, I mean, are you going to go to the mountains and go to the temples and things? Because obviously Petrobum City and Pitsanulok, they're not really tourist destinations. They're the kind of places I go. I'm not into touristy places. You know, if I went back to Thailand, I would live in a place that purposely. That's why I like Pitsanulok. Doesn't really have a lot of tourists. Doesn't really. Although I think I would struggle now because when I live in Thailand, I didn't live with other expats. I avoided them, as a lot of people do for various reasons. But Dumaguete has changed my outlook. So I think I would struggle living in a place again where there weren't expats. But it'd have to be my kind of expat, which is the good thing about Dumaguete. A lot of people are, not all of them, but most of them are, because they're like family people, and you know they're just good guys and ladies. But yeah, why are you going anyway? I've got off on a tangent. Why are you going to Petrobum and Pitsanulok? Pitsanulok rather. Tim Murray, 15 sailors died in 1979. Oh, well, there you go. That's why I'm not aware of it. I've heard of it because in 1979 I would have been 9 years old or 8 years old, depending on what time of year it happened. But mind you, I told you, my stepdad, his dad had a yacht, and we used to go sailing for a couple of years. We'd go down sometimes for like the weekends and things and go sailing. Used to go to the Isle of Wight, go to Cowes. How old would I have been then? That probably would have been around that time. So yeah, maybe it did. Maybe it was a thing. Maybe it was them talking about it, etc. 15 seconds. Tim, we were Belgian champion in mirror dinghy at that time. The disaster shocked us. Tim Murray, great class mirror dinghy. So you're getting all technical now. I was never. We went sailing, but I was never in. I was a kid. Obviously, dinghies are small. I don't know what a mirror dinghy is. Tim, my dad bought a kit himself in UK and built it in the garage. We were champion 2 years with a lot of illegal adjustments. We were cheating then. Jim, restaurants are more expensive in London. Well, there you go. Jim lives in Luzon. Yeah, I think they will be a lot more expensive. I imagine accommodation must be as well. Mike Thompson, August 79. Yeah, I'd have been 8 then. Yeah, that probably was when I was. Yeah. Ricky, going as part of a cycle tour. Yes, plan on cycling up the mountains. Oh, that'll be good then. That'll be fun. You'll enjoy that. Beautiful. I personally think that Petrobum is the most beautiful province in Thailand. Breathtaking when you go. The drive from Petrobum City to Pitsanulok, when you go right through the mountains up and down, it's breathtaking. Breathtaking. It's going to be tiring though. Those mountains are steep. You can enjoy going down a lot more than you are going up. So when you say Pitsanulok, you're not talking about the city. You're talking about the region. Well, that sounds great, mate. That sounds great. I'd say I'm jealous, but I don't think I could do any cycling. Particularly now, I've got what do they call it? Plantar fasciitis on the ball of my foot. Had it for 2 days now. That wouldn't do me any favours when I was cycling. Shaney, I never say more expensive in London. I just say more expensive than you think based on YouTube videos. You know, I hear, Shaney. I hear. You know, yeah, I hear. Yeah, I've seen. I watched a YouTube video a while back on this couple, and they were living in in Manila, and they had like a little one-bedroom apartment, and the rent they were paying for that was a hell of a lot more than you'd be paying in Bangkok. I imagine they must have been in like one of the more expensive parts of Manila. But no, I'm aware, and I say I've a couple of friends. We were out dinner the other day. They were talking. I think they went to was it Gordon Ramsay's restaurant in Manila, and the two of them, I think the meal came to like £150 or something. So yeah, I know it's expensive there. Very expensive compared to Asian country, a lot of Asian cities. But yeah, that's the thing about that's what I don't understand about wide YouTube videos. So many people they don't try and say it, and I'm not saying I'm great or anything like that, but a lot of people they go out to try and prove something is incredibly cheap or something is incredibly. It's like you can tell what they're trying to show when they make the video. You know what I mean? They're not going it saying right, this is it. What it actually is. They're going they've got a motive before they make it. You know what I mean? So everything they show you is trying to justify their point of view. I don't get it. Walter, the drive between Pittsnell and Peterborough is also dangerous, but I loved it. Yeah, it's dangerous. It's dangerous. It's dangerous. You see a lot of, particularly, you see a lot of, or we used to read about a lot of coaches and things went off the side there. Well, lorries mainly, but yeah, yeah. And we used to go on a bus to get there to do my visa run, and there were times when you're sitting there looking over the side, thinking, God. Jim Murray. Ricky, Jim Pendergrass. Yes, take your point, Shaney. There you go. You see, we're in agreement, Shaney. There is no argument here. We're all in agreement. I say I pay 25k for one bedroom plus electric and water, etc. Yeah, that's that's you get bigger than a one bedroom for that. It depends where you live. You get some expense. Yeah, but yeah, let's try and think. Yeah, compared to what we were paying in the last place. And yeah, we're only paying 20 here. But I mean, but you're in the capital city. It's more desirable than it is to live in Dumaguete. And Dumaguete, I'm no expert in the Philippines, but just talking to people I meet, because you do meet people who've been here or they're going travelling and that. And when you go away, Dumaguete and Siquijor is cheap. I was surprised when I went to Mobile, how much more expensive it was than Siquijor. Because as I say, not complaining about it, not being a cheapskate. It's just you get used to things like, for example, I drink San Miguel. So I know what San Miguel costs. And there's quite a few places in Dumaguete where you can get San Miguel light will cost you 65 pesos. Most of the bars at night, it will cost you 75, 80. I've been to a restaurant where it cost 115. I mean, there's a couple of places like the posher places. You go up to Henry and that here, or you go to the bar here. That's more expensive. But you're generally looking at 80 pesos. And in Siquijor, which is a tourist place, it is basically around the same kind of prices. Not that much more expensive in Siquijor than it is here. To live there, it is a bit more because you can't get stuff, there. But Mobile, virtually everywhere, the beer was like 150. It's surprising because it's not that much better than Siquijor, but, just makes you realise. And I've heard people go to Bowhole, same kind of prices again. I've no idea why Dumaguete is so cheap, and I've no idea why Siquijor is not more expensive because it's got a lot of tourists there. Maybe the price will go up, but I say I can't compare it to Bacolod or small provincial towns in other cities because I've not been on other islands. I've not been to them, but certainly compared to what people tell me, Negros seems to be one of the cheaper islands. Certainly a lot cheaper than Cebu, and I imagine a lot cheaper than Luzon. But I mean, you people know, you live there, you can tell me, but I don't know why Dumaguete is so cheap. And a lot of people say as well, the expats live here because it's cheap and they're all broke bums, but it's not true. The majority of expats live here because they've got girlfriends and wives who live here and they've come from this place. And others have come here because of YouTube. I mean, I came here because of YouTube. If it hadn't been for Mark and Old Dog, I would never have known Dumaguete existed. I didn't know it was cheap. I didn't come here because I thought it was a cheap place to live. I just heard about it. And a lot of the people you meet here, they'll come here. I'll say, why are you here? I wanted to check it out. I said, well, why here? So, is it because of YouTube? They're like, no. I said, well, how have you heard of the place then? How do you know it even existed? And I say, it's YouTube. And it's like Greg, the guy I met the other night. he went to Bocklod, he's come here. And I'm like, well, why these places? And again, he's watched YouTube channels, which is fine. So, I mean, that's why a lot of people come here. I think because he's got an expat community, it's built exponentially. So it's like, you know, a chicken and the egg kind of thing. I was Tim Murray. I was thinking of a frozen fish business called Thai Valley Fish, a double entendre. Shaney, just saying, it's not $1,000, like they say. Yeah, no, I can believe that totally, Shaney. Although they have some people who have said they're living for that in comments before, but they say they've got great apartments and that. But I find that hard to believe. I couldn't live there. I can't live. Well, I could live in Dumagetti for $1,000 a month, but we generally spend more than that now. I have lived in here some months. It's cost $1,000. But yeah, I believe you. There's no way you could live in. I'd be amazed if. This way, if you're living in Manila for $1,000 a month, you must be living in a very, very cheap area, and you must be denying yourself a lot of things, or you have a very cheap way of living. But either way, I couldn't do it. I know I couldn't do it. I've never been there. Rob Sampson, I like San Miguel, but the Red Horse is not for me. Yeah. Well, it took me a long time to grow to like San Miguel Light. When I first got it, I couldn't stand it. Red Horse was the only one I could drink. But then I gradually stopped drinking the Red Horse because you can't really drive when you're drinking that. And I've grown to quite like San Miguel. When I first got here, more than 2 San Miguels, I felt so gassy. I just couldn't do it. But now I can. Tim Murray, hey mate, thank you, Tim. That is incredibly kind of you. Thank you very much, mate. Don't know what to say. Thanks, Tim. Cheers, mate. And thanks, Shaney. Much appreciated. I will have a breakfast on YouTube probably tomorrow morning. Shaney, Jim Pendergrass, cheers. Ricky, I actually like San Miguel more than most Thai beers except Singer. But we'll see, now we're saying San Miguel. Are we talking about San Miguel Pilsen, or are we talking about San Miguel Light? Because I am a light guy. I don't know why, because sometimes I go to restaurants or whatever and they don't have light, and I'll have the pale Pilsen instead. But and I quite enjoy it. I don't know. I'm not sure why I've ended up on the light. Maybe psychologically it's got less calories. I don't know. But most of the expats here drink San Miguel Light. But Pilsen's okay as well, pale Pilsen. The beers are good here. And I like the tandoori, the rums. The 15-year-old rum, I can't remember what they call it here, is bloody gorgeous. I don't drink rum much, but San Miguel is one of the biggest breweries in the world. Not Tanduay, rather. No, is it Tanduay? Who owns? I can't remember the name. I'm making it up. Anyway, but yeah, most of the local drinks here are good. Shiny, Ricky, I actually like some mobile, I suppose, because it lives off some tourists and weekenders from Cebu. Rob Sampson, both. Yeah, it must be water. But as I say, I just thought it would be like Sikihor, but everything there was considerably more expensive than Sikihor. And I prefer Sikihor. I mean, we've been to Mobile twice. I don't think we'll go there again. I mean, we might do, just because the beauty of Mobile is it's drivable. You know, you can get the ferry over from Mayo. Takes 30 minutes. You've got the scooter there. You can drive to Mobile in like an hour and a half. But so I'm never saying never again. If some friends said let's do it, we might do it. But not really for me. Don't like Mobile. I prefer Sikihor. And I'm in no rush to go back to Sikihor. But Mobile is a lot more expensive than Sikihor. That's all I'm saying. I think the whole of Cebu is. I mean, I've only been to Oslo. And I've only been to Mobile. I think Oslo was a little bit cheaper. I can't really remember. I wasn't counting the pennies kind of thing. But Mobile's just dead. There's nothing there. Apart from the whale sharks. I don't know why anyone goes there. I mean, I went there that weekend with Ray. We were going to stay 2 days. We gave up after one night. We were so bored. And when we went back last time, a lot of you might have seen the vlog. We thought we'd got to the ferry port, realised it was quite early. We could have got a ferry. We thought, no, we'll go and spend the afternoon in Oslo. So we went and had a nice lunch and that. It was dead again. It's just like that place has got all these hotels and resorts and there's no one there. It's strange place. Rob sent them both, but I like the light better. Yeah, I think I prefer the light. Shani, parking as well. It's not included if you've got a car. Yeah, I went to they've got an apartment block here called Super Marina. I don't know if I told you about it. Have I told you about the ID problem I had there? It's got an awful reputation, the place has. With the security there, I had a friend who stayed there, and you can't bring people in. He met a girl a couple of times, tried to bring her, just wouldn't let them in. And I've heard all these horror stories. A lot of people move there and they leave after a while. A mate of mine, Donald, he's actually bought a place there. Now, if I've told this story before, stop me, because I don't want to bore you, but I interviewed him about a month ago, and because he wanted to show me what a great place it was, and he said the security is not a problem if you are a if you're a resident. It's only the ones who rent that can't do things in. And he booked me in, and I got there and I told him my name, and they wanted to know, and I told him his name, and they wanted to know what room he was in. I said, I don't know what room he is in, what apartment it is. I said, but I'm on a list, and the guy wouldn't show me the screen. I said, look, what's the problem? He said, I can't let you without a room, without knowing the apartment number. So in the end, I phoned him up, and I was a bit annoyed about it. So I said, look, you talk to the guy. He spoke to the guy. He was the owner. Told him I was okay. Then the guy wanted ID. So I gave him my Filipino driving license. And he looked at it and said, that's not ID, it's driving license. And I'm like, well, it's ID. It's got my photograph. It's got my name on it. He said, no, I can't accept that. So I got my ACR card out, which is my tourist ID card. He said, that wasn't enough. He said, I needed my passport. I said, I haven't got my passport, so we have to get it. I'm like, are you serious? I can't get in to see a guy who lives in there, who's put me on the list, who's just phoned up because I haven't got a passport. Are you nuts? And then the guy came over because he'd come down anyway, and then he spoke to him and he persuaded him to let me in. What the hell is that about? Who wants to live in a place like that? I mean, have you ever heard anything so ridiculous in all your life? And I couldn't park the bike in there. That's why what Shady reminded me of that. I said, where do I park the scooter? He said, you can't park it in here. And I said, well, I can't park it in here. And he said, no, he doesn't have parking included in this thing. So I had to park it across the road in Cafe Racer. You know, so even visitors can't park, you know, to go, they won't even let you in the compound. I mean, crazy place. Why no one would live there, I do not know. And I hope he's not watching. The apartment was tiny. I couldn't live there. And I knew a friend who was renting a place there for $30,000 a month. And God knows why. Yeah, it's got swimming pools and things, but so what? I mean, Christ, you're literally up 50 metres from the sea, swimming in the sea. Janie, no, not a fan of Cebu. I like Bora and Palawan. Railway Beach off Krabi is my fave. Krabi, we're talking about Thailand now, are we? Never been to Palawan. Ellen wants to go. We will go at some stage. Trouble with Palawan is it's such a difficult to get to. You got to fly to Manila. You got to fly. You know, you got to get connecting flights. We were going to do it, but then we chose to go to. Oh, what's happened here? I've lost my stream for the boxing. Now this is going to upset me. Has our internet just gone down? Am I still there? You can see me, can't you? Suddenly things have started mucking up here. Right, no, we're in. Right, live stream, speaking of Asia. Or maybe it's my laptop that's screwing up. Walter, Mulbowl is at last someone who shares my negative opinion of that place. Well, there you go. Shaney doesn't like it. I don't like it. Because people steal from high-end condos. It happens to me. Was security cleaner scam. I lost jewellery. I'm very sorry to hear that. Very sorry to hear that. Brian Dawson, have you ever had Newcastle Brown? Yes, I have had Nuki Brown. I've had Nuki Brown many times in my Air Force days. I had some Geordie friends, and they'd always insist on getting Nuki Brown. Not really for me. Not for me. It's okay. I mean, don't get me wrong. I'll drink it. I've had many bottles of Nuki Brown, but I wouldn't order it through choice. You know what I mean? If I was in the UK, I'd rather have a Stella than Nuki Brown any day of the week. Sorry if I seem subdued. I'm having trouble with my boxing stream. Oh, what's happening to me now? What has it done? Right, I'm going to log off now, chaps. It has been emotional, but I think the fight's about to start, and my stream has gone. So I'm going to say goodbye, chaps. Shaney, Tim, thank you very much for the super chats. Everyone else, thanks for joining. I've got to go now because I've got to try and work out how I'm going to watch this boxing. And if I miss this, I'm going to be incredibly disappointed. Walk in, see you, Brian. I'm a fan of creamy Boddington. I just like Boddingtons. But anyway, yeah, I'm going now, chaps. Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed it, hit the like button. And ladies, sorry, I didn't mean to say chaps. Thank you, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you for joining me tonight. Apologies, Shaney. I didn't mean to call you a chap. I'm going to rush off now, but hopefully you enjoyed it. If you did, smash the like button. You haven't subscribed, but you've all subscribed. I know you have. Anyway, take care. Whatever you're doing, stay safe. Be lucky. And thanks for watching.